the final stretch of action at the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic, and we wrap it up at Wrigley Field with two of the really fun mid-majors all across the sport of college softball. A blast of a tournament concludes at the Big League Dreams Complex in Cathedral City with the Aztecs of San Diego State, a bona fide top 25 team, against a Rainbow Wahine group that always finds themselves in the national conversation. Happy to have you along, everyone. Corey Brooks, Kaylin Arnold-Elliott with you. The San Diego State batting order just continuing to produce. These Aztecs have done nothing but impress in 2025. It's an exciting group for Stacey Newman-Denise in her fourth year as the Aztecs look to continue to dominate the Mountain West. And so it will be a tough task for the Rainbow Wahine, and they turn to Millie Fidge. Hasn't pitched a ton on the year, but she'll be the one tasked with trying to slow down these Aztecs as Bella Espinoza gets ready to lead it off.
That's right, Corey. This San Diego State team has been pretty phenomenal in the beginning part of this season. Made waves at the Clearwater Invitational, going 5-0, beating some big names like Alabama and Wichita State, and now also holding their own here at the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic. Super excited to see how this Hawaii team faces up against these hitters.
Two different results in the games right before. This is the back end of the doubleheader for both of these two. San Diego State holds on despite a furious comeback bid, and Hawaii was on the wrong end of the walk-off.
Like you said, Millie Fidge in the circle for Hawaii hasn't had a whole lot of opportunities so far in this year. Coming into this game, 7.2 innings pitched, 1.83 ERA. So looking to get her some innings here, some more opportunities.
It's largely been a two-woman rotation for the Rainbow Wahine, but here in this final stretch, Coach Coolin looks to expand it a little bit. They have used 4 pitchers, but 2 have the grand majority of the innings worked. Espinosa lifts, and it is just out of reach. Loma had a great read on it, but it's a leadoff triple. Number 3 stands at 3. Espinosa, a loud opening statement.
What a fantastic way to start off this game by Espinosa. Lines this one into left field, and it gets over the head of Uloma. Espinosa uses that speed to make it all the way to third.
Her first triple of the season, 4th of her career. Did not have one last year, already on the board. Ella Espinosa, one of the bona fide leaders of this team, and there are quite a few for this group. Didi Hernandez, Carly Decker, this senior laden class. As we look at the other end, here's the sophomore Jasmine Williams.
Yeah, this is a team that is just full of upperclassmen, full of experience. Jasmine Williams, a sophomore, also a freshman in Waukee, but the rest of them are juniors or seniors.
That experience tends to get you far. It has SDSU picked first in the Mountain West. That floats right in for Millie Fidge.
That was a really pretty changeup from Fidge. I think that that's going to be a good tool for her to use to keep these hitters off balance, throw in that off speed pretty consistently to help mess with the timing of these hitters.
Right up a shoot, and the snag with the late adjustment. Well done to see it in the air and make the grab by Thomas. Speaking of those senior leaders, here's another one of them in Callie Decker. All Mountain West for the Aztecs. Looking to capitalize early on with Espinoza at third. Filoma, Kai, and Gibbs, the outfield from left to right. Thomas Ayat on the left side of the infield. Murakami and Magai on the right. Martinez doing the catching for Fidge. Like you said, a lot of seniors out there, and even Magahi over at first base is a sophomore, so experience abound on the Hawaii side as well. Decker rips it into right and drops it down to the grass. First lead belongs to the Aztecs, thanks to their leader, Callie Decker, excuse me.
That's exactly what the Aztecs want to see from their senior leader, their catcher, doing her job, scoring that runner at third. I mean, this is just a line shot out into right field, exactly where you want to place that ball.
And so Decker gets the scoring started. 1-0 Aztecs, and they pass the baton to Shannon Cunningham. 2 years at Arizona State. Decided she wants to come back to SoCal. Good off speed there by Fidge.
Yeah, and that goes back to exactly what I said earlier. That was fantastic. Beautiful placement as well on that outside corner. Fidge just needs to continue to sprinkle that pitch in each count, in each sequence to keep these hitters off balance.
So Callie Decker gets the scoring started. Aztecs on the board. Still just one out as that's fouled straight back.
Fun little information about Cunningham. She's majoring in journalism with an emphasis in sports and plans to become a sports writer or an analyst, maybe a sports broadcaster like us.
There you go. The player to analyst pathway is paved with elites such as yourself. That is well struck and dropped all the way to the fence. Cunningham keeps the good going. Decker holds at third. 2 in prime position for the Aztecs. San Diego State is wasting no time.
The San Diego State team are just jumping on it, like you said, wasting no time. She absolutely crushes this ball to left field. I think it, goes almost all the way to that corner. And that has Decker standing in easy at third and Cunningham at second.
Floats in, strike one. So here's Uribe. Check swing.
Grace Uribe transfer from Texas A&M University. She was there from 2021 to 2023, has now found a home at San Diego State.
It's been off to a phenomenal start. Back much closer to home, born in Huntington Beach. Walked it off against Wichita State and Clearwater.
And actually pitched. She pitched a little bit in the previous game.
It was a full-on rotation for SDSU. The Aztecs threaten, but are unable to capitalize. And so we go to the bottom scoreless. San Diego State gets right to the doorstep. A couple of extra base hits, but unable to capitalize. The Rainbow Wahine answer the bell. And the Aztecs will turn to the player that saved the game not even half an hour ago. Here is Didi Hernandez, the stingiest pitcher in the Mountain West a year ago, the fewest runs allowed, #2 in ERA. Her numbers as we sit at the moment, 2-1 with a 3.98 ERA, 19 1/3 innings pitched, 8 strikeouts. And then she had the inning earlier to pick up the save to move it to 20 1/3 innings pitched. Isabella Martinez, one of the best to do it in the Big West. Gets ready to hit. But first, we check the tech.
Yeah, it looks like she may be having some issues. I don't know if the signal's coming through or she's having a hard time reading it. There we go.
Had to get it set up. It's like when you install the new iPhone, it takes forever.
Yeah.
Couple of hops in and clean work right out of the gate. Macario makes the play.
Now batting number 13.
One pitch, one out. A dream start for Hernandez. And here's Mason Gibbs.
Nice miss.
You can hear what the San Diego State fans thought of that.
All right. Yeah, I mean, being a pitcher, I'm always going to have a pitcher's zone, so I'm going to be
That's fair.
a little bit wider, I guess you could say, than most umpires.
Okay, it's the perfect counterbalance. When Nicole's in that spot, she's going to favor the hitters. So we
Yeah.
wind up right in the middle, and the ever-continuing battle between pitchers and hitters remains even in the analyst chair.
I know, it was always a conversation that we would have during games when I would go out there as the home team, and I'd have to come back in and say, guys, you know what? He's got a pitcher's zone today. I'm sorry for you, but I'm really excited about it.
Just foul down that line. Sydney being the former pitcher as well, you guys had the advantage all throughout the weekend here at Wrigley Field. 2 pitchers, 1 hitter, and me who has no chance at either. Just missing for Didi.
Yeah, that must just be a little too far outside. That would be my guess. I don't think it's the height. So it must be finishing maybe a little bit too much in the river.
Hernandez comes home and gets the K. That thing floats right home.
Gorgeous, gorgeous off-speed pitch by Hernandez. See, it just falls right into the zone there for that called strike. Absolutely beautiful.
First pitch right back to the breaking ball. That goes foul. An awesome opportunity for all of the players here at the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic. And even when they're done, the post-college opportunity is getting bigger and better than ever. And one of the architects of those post-college opportunities going to join us now. Kim Ng, who has been around the sport of baseball, now the sport of softball, joining us here on Flow College. Kim, it's so great to talk to you at such an exciting time for our sport. The draft, a wild success, so much fun. The AUSL season is nearly here this summer. You guys have to be all pretty fired up.
Totally fired up. Totally fired up. The inaugural draft we thought went great. The production was awesome. Our head coaches and general managers, I thought they did great, and it looked great on TV. So we were really happy with it. And now I'm here at Mary Nutter, coming and specking out some of the talent for future years. So this has been a great weekend for me here.
That's exactly where I was about to go. You've done a great job of scouting talent at the Major League Baseball level. Now you do it here in softball. Always with eyes to the Olympics as well, when a lot of these players will be the exact right age. Is there anyone that's kind of stood out to you so far here in the early going as we wrap up this Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic?
Boy, you know, there's so many good names out here. Hard to narrow it down, but I think you're absolutely right in terms of 2028. We're just looking to, you know, bring that gold back to the U.S. here on U.S. soil. So, you know, as we at AUSL prepare to launch, I think it's, you know, we've also got our eye on, hey, Coach, how you doing? Sorry, that was me saying hi to Stacy Newman, who was one of our head coaches in the AUSL. So really excited at AUSL. You know, I can tell you the first weekend I was on the job and I walked into the ballpark. I saw Chris Sebrin, who's the Chief Development Officer of USA Softball, and you know, we've known each other for a number of years, and I said, how many athletes do you have here? He said about 20. So I took that as a really great sign that, you know, we've got all the right players in the AUSL, and really, really excited about 2028 as we help train these athletes to bring that gold back.
I saw Stacey Newman talking to Amanda Lorenz, and it was a very friendly conversation because they were talking college softball, but they're both also getting ready to compete when the AUSL season rolls around. Tell us how different it's going to look, Kim, as we get ready for this transition into the AUSL. So many of us watched AUX and the initial Athletes Unlimited, but now it takes on a new life here come this summer.
It really does, and I think one of the things that Athletes Unlimited heard loud and clear from the athletes themselves was the desire to really, be a part of the team. They enjoyed the individual performance, but this is what they grew up with, right? And there's nothing better than celebrating with people that you've worked so hard to actually accomplish a goal. And I think that is what really got Jonathan Soros and John Patrikoff, really intent on bringing that traditional format back. We're just so excited to see these teams competing against each other. And now we've brought back, not only do we have the athletes of today, but some of the athletes of yesterday, bringing back Lisa Fernandez, Stacy Newman, Kat Osterman, obviously. So we're really excited about having all of these great legends under one umbrella at Athletes Unlimited.
It's going to be an incredible season starting this summer, and like you mentioned, full length this time, which is going to be really, really fun to watch. Kim, I'm Florida man by birth, so I have to ask you, as the GM who signed Sandy Alcantara to a long-term contract, brought Jesus Luzardo down to Miami, and acquired both Berger and Bell, who were outstanding and guided the Marlins to the playoffs. So there's a little resume in case anyone who does not know what this woman accomplished with the Miami Marlins. Do you have any thoughts on the team as they currently sit?
Now batting number 16,
Well,
Quinn Waukee.
not quite the team that we had put together in 23. You also remember Louis Arise, who won batting titles both in the American League and then in the National League with us. But that was a tremendous group of guys. Unfortunately, they got off to a bad start. And had a lot of injuries. And subsequently lost 100 games. So definitely not the team that we had put together. Skip Schumacher and I and that whole staff. Working with an incredibly talented bunch of guys. But that's just the way it rolls. I can tell you that my time in Miami, I had a great time, and it culminating in us getting to the playoffs. Couldn't have asked for more than that in 23.
No question about it. It was a fun ride as that team made the postseason. One last question for you, Kim. We'll let you go. With this being the center of the softball universe this weekend, with so many great coaches, teams, players, in your eyes, from the professional side, what does this tournament, what does the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic mean to the sport?
Oh my goodness. Just knowing who runs the tournament, between Kirk Walker and Deb Hartwig, obviously the tournament is in great hands. And then when I come out here and I see the caliber, the quality of these athletes, this is as good as it gets for collegiate softball. And, like I said, I'm sure that we are, looking at the future professional players and future Olympians here as well. So it's just so exciting for the sport in general. And obviously a lot of that has to do with Mary Nutter.
No doubt about it. All right, Kim, we're going to let you get back to scouting out these future Olympians. Thanks for joining us. Really great to have you here on Flow.
All right, guys, take care. Thank you.
Kim Ng, the former GM of the Miami Marlins, and now the senior advisor with the AUSL, getting started up right this summer. A quick pause here. We still sit at level mid-second. Some of the fans making the trip out from Honolulu out here to Cathedral City, or from San Diego, just a couple hours away. This is the point where normally I say, oh, the fans are escaping that cold weather, but not so much in this one, Kaylin. This is an all-time nice off between San Diego, Hawaii, and Cathedral City. You'd be hard-pressed to find 3 better weather spots.
Wow, 100%. All of these girls, I mean, this isn't a big change for them. They've been used to this nice weather pretty much all year long, which is something I wish I could say. It's, very cold where I'm at right now, but it's so cool that these girls do get to experience that. And I've actually done a couple other games this year for teams like Indiana with you, Corey, and other schools that are coming from places that aren't so warm. And so these teams definitely have an advantage getting to practice and play outside for the majority of the year.
Not only play outside, but you don't have to travel very much, at least in the case of San Diego State. They're usually the ones doing the majority of the hosting, which made that trip to Clearwater a bit uncharacteristic for Aztec softball. Knocked down, and there's no play to be had. Yellen did a good job to keep it in front of her, but it's a base knock.
Now batting number 9, Millen Arha.
She pulls this ball right down the third base line. Yellen does do a good job of keeping it in front of her, unfortunately unable to glove it. That'll be a runner at first for Hawaii.
Gahi at first. Hernandez floats it right back in. Ayat upping her batting average, about 40 points on the front end of the doubleheader today, which is code for she had a very good game.
And that is one of the great things about preseason tournaments is you're going to play against great competition, but you're also going to get some opportunities for some feel-good softball where you can maybe raise that batting average a little bit, or even get on a hot streak. Sometimes playing games back to back to back, you get hot, you stay hot, and that allows those stats to climb.
Ilana Yat went 2 for 2 with 2 RBI and 2 walks and 2 assists. Juice is wild for Ayat. Quick step on first. Cunningham's throw to second, not quite in time. A good idea.
Great hustle play by Cunningham. I thought she might have had her there, but Gahi, she had the hustle.
Number 21, Carrie Murakami.
A very close play, but she does make it in time.
There's Murakami watching strike one. Two teams feeling pretty good coming in here. Hawaii getting off to their best start in over 5 years, coming into the action here in Cathedral City. And you can see that 23 next to San Diego State in the bottom right of your screen, which just goes to tell you they have not only impressed with their record, but with their play.
San Diego State has been fantastic so far early in this season.
Williams in center, on it quickly, and no advance possible.
Now batting number 20.
Really, they only had one big loss, which was against Oregon, who had just come off of a big win against Tennessee. So they were riding high on that win. But San Diego State, I mean, beating some really big teams in Clearwater, Bama, Wichita State, Virginia, Charlotte, and just continuing to roll with things here.
Colby Kochi watching it just miss. Kochi trying to go 5-6, Yellen across the diamond to close the door. Well, it looked like San Diego State was going to score early. Instead, we have two complete with nothing on the board. Maybe a little pitcher school to wrap up the tournament.
I'm looking for all the baddies all over the world. Ladies, where my baddies at? I'm bad, you bad. Yeah. Real bad on the prowl. Heard you was next, but I'm up now. Yeah, I'm shining like blink loud. And I see a couple haters in the crowd. Yeah, I'm fed up, so shut up, don't need your opinion. Get up, I need your attention. Where my baddies at? Yeah.
All weekend long, the fans have gotten the chance to enjoy it, and we have really been paying more attention to who the fans bring with them. That's the name of the game for us in the broadcast booth. Corey Brooks, Kalen Arnold-Elliott with you. Happy to have you along for the ride. Some of the top travel ball teams in America can be found in Southern California, and they can be found in the stands here at Wrigley Field, wrapping up the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic.
100%, and I think it's so cool that there is such a big tournament like the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic in that area for all these young softball players to come and to be a part of, and to get to watch some of their favorite teams play against each other that they may not have the opportunity to do at any other point in the year. It's really cool, and they get to meet those players potentially afterwards and have conversations with girls that they look up to. It's such an amazing opportunity for these young players.
Bunt, wound up rolling foul. Looked like it was going to sit exactly where it needed to. Instead, it just bounces in the wrong direction, depending on your point of view, of course. Espinoza watching the strike. Had that rocket double to start, but wound up out at third to begin the ball game.
I love that off-speed pitch we just saw from Fidge. She threw that on a 3-1 count. That just shows you how confident she is in that pitch.
That's a routine out as a result. Fidge putting together work. Espinoza winds up out for the second time, and the Aztecs pass the baton to Jasmine Williams.
And I know we're only in the top of the third, but Fidge has done a really great job in the circle for Hawaii. So I know coming into this didn't have a whole lot of innings. Hawaii mainly relying on two other arms. But I think that Fidge can definitely be added into that pair, maybe make it three pitchers, three arms that they can rely on. She's looking pretty good right now.
That's the name of the game in modern softball, isn't it? All of a sudden you have a full staff. It's not just the 2 leading the way. And so Fidge trying to push Hawaii a little bit closer in that regard. Great start so far against the top 25 offense. Oof. That's a strikeout, but the throwdown, it's there in time. So Fidge indeed gets her K.
Batting number 11, Callie Decker.
That's always so stressful as a pitcher when you get that swing, you know it's a strikeout, but maybe it's a drop third. So fantastic job by Martinez. That ball does get away from her, but she hustles and gets to it and still capable of making that throw and getting the out in time. I think that's sort of the epitome of having your pitchers back there.
Absolutely. That battery relationship, as you know, starts early and goes a long way to the success of the pitcher. But anytime you can finish the strikeout, I think that's bonus points in the minds of both.
100%. Yeah, I give my catcher a big hug if they're able to save that for me.
Although I suppose the one silver lining is you could do what Robin Herron did earlier in this tournament, which is have a 4 strikeout inning.
Yeah, you could do that.
Easier said than done, of course.
Well, 100%. Much easier said than done. Not the typical route, but it is possible.
No. Lifted up into left, ranging over and making the grab is Tuiloma. Everything is routine so far. Fidge Hernandez put on a show. Reminder to check out the latest range of sunglasses featuring Oakley's revolutionary prism technology. Oakley is all about recognizing the standout players who bring energy and excitement to softball. Oakley is setting the standard in performance and style. That is product placement right there at its finest. Oakley was offering discounts all weekend long at the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic. So, hey, you never know. Maybe somebody took advantage. Right now, it is both pitchers who've been locked in from the word go, taking advantage of their opportunities here at the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic. That came straight to the chest. Fidge,
Yeah,
shaken up.
that is super unfortunate for her just because, I mean, it hit her, but she also swung, so that is a strike. Pitch was thrown way inside. Yeah, I mean, that hit her right there at the belt. Looks like she's okay, though, so that's good. And that is
All smiles.
excuse me, that is one of the issues, I guess, that you have to be prepared for as a pitcher who is going to hit for yourself. And that's something that we're seeing a lot more often now in this game. Pitchers hitting for themselves. You've seen Jordy Ball do it this year, Nigel Kennedy do it.
What is old is new again.
Number 16,
The two ways,
Tool
in many ways, Lisa Fernandez paving the way, then it kind of went away. Now it's very much back. We had some kids who stayed up so far past their bedtime last night. I was thoroughly impressed. But right now, at 3:20 Pacific time, it is playground time. And it's time to start digging. Well lifted. How about the play by Waikiki? That's back-to-back games. She's made a web gem.
now batting for Hawaii, number 43, Isabel
And that's
Martinez.
another person that I would give a hug to if they made that play for me there, Waikiki. Look, yeah, Hernandez, she's like, oh, thank you so much. That's amazing. I love you. That's exactly how it feels when your defense goes all out for you. It's so cool to have that relationship with your defense behind you, and Waikiki just no regard for herself, gives 100% of her body to make that play.
She may very well have saved the game on the front end of the doubleheader. Hernandez got the save in that one. So those two getting along swimmingly in the shortstop Waikiki and the pitcher Hernandez.
Yeah, 100%.
Martinez watching it, just miss. Quinn Waikiki from Hilo, Hawaii. So in many ways, going against the hometown team, the Hawaii Hilo would be closer to home for Waikiki. A very good program in their own right.
And I think, you see that a lot. A lot of Hawaii players tend to go to California to play for college just because not a whole lot of opportunities to play in Hawaii. Travel ball, not a whole lot of opportunities there either. There are some big name travel ball programs in Hawaii, but most of them in California.
It's continued to grow and afford opportunities for kids to stay in Hawaii, but it is obviously a great chance for both. Nothing's changing on the scoreboard through 3 complete. Pitching and defense. It's one of the headlines coming out of this tournament. PGF was founded in 2009 and today crowns the unquestioned national champions across 9 age divisions. Premier Girls Fast Pitch is where the best play in amateur fast pitch softball since 2009. Thousands of female student athletes to left, and it gets all the way to the fence. So a quick start, not wasting any time.
Number 23,
Cunningham, not one to let the sponsors get their time. She goes right to work, a leadoff double. That's an excited pair of parents right there. Why not? The favorite player standing at the Keystone.
Cunningham definitely has a big swing. We've seen her do some pretty impressive things already in this game, but also just in this year. She was the one that had that walk-off grand slam against Charlotte. So definitely can do some big things with her bat.
It's already been those thrilling wins for San Diego State against elite competition. Uribe had the walk-off in her own right against Wichita State, who along with these Aztecs is one of the perennially elite mid-major programs. Been a great start for Millie Fidge. The leadoff double is enough to disrupt anyone's rhythm. And Uribe in control of the at-bat.
Yeah, a leadoff double, that's not how you want to start things off as a pitcher, but the best pitchers have the shortest memories. So she's got to just forget about that, try to move on, focus on this next pitch.
Uribe watching strike two. Grace sees her future in behavioral psychology. She knows the mental health issues that can be a challenge for a Division I athlete. And now going through it, wants to make it her field of study. A 2-2 swung on and missed. Kaylin, it kind of reminded me of Ashley Rogers, who did the same thing, but physical health instead of mental health. So that unique perspective that's granted here at the D1 level.
Yeah, it's really cool when the athletes get involved in those types of things because they've lived it. Ashley Rogers, she's now in medical school in Tennessee, but in her playing time, obviously she was doing her prereqs, and so she thought it would be interesting to look more into her injury that she had while playing. She had a back injury, and she looked into softball and into pitching specifically and how that affected her injury. And it was super cool reading everything that she had done, all the research, and now she's in medical school and hopefully one day going to be working with some athletes and able to help them in the future, maybe in a way that she wasn't capable of being helped in her time. So really cool perspective, and getting to see these athletes in their time in college and then post-college and how they're going to be affecting the game and changing the game from somewhere off the field.
Growing the game not only includes on the diamond, but the opportunities post softball as well. Whether that's in a league like the AUSL, we talked to Kim Ing earlier, or the medical or professional side of it. That's
definitely
all about.
And there are other opportunities as well for pro softball and to continue to grow and hone your skills as a collegiate athlete. You have the summer leagues now, the FGCL, which Cunningham, who's standing on second, she actually played in 2023. She played in the Florida Gulf Coast League, and now there are also independent teams. The Florida Vibe, who I played for, and the New York Rise, who Nicole Mendez plays for, and several others who are also, you know, the Spark and the Texas Smoke. So there are other opportunities as well for athletes to continue to play, and the goal is just to continue to grow the game. And there's so many different ways that we're trying to do that right now.
Into foul territory, sits up long enough. A lot of straight up and straight down forced by Millie Fidge, making it real easy for her defense to this point in the game.
Yeah, and shout out to her defense. I mean, this is, I mean, you got to be able to make those plays. So shout out to them for having her back. And I mean, right now you can see the sun kind of glaring. Probably not the easiest to see when the ball gets up in that sky.
Sav Adams. Watching on the inside. One of a couple transfers who made the trek across the country from East Coast to West. I think 2 teams in this tournament have really embraced the ability to come home in the transfer portal, and that is Nebraska and San Diego State. Well hit, it gets down in the grass. Cunningham takes the wide turn and scores. Adams advances and puts San Diego State on the board.
Now batting for San Diego, number 16, Quinn Walker.
And Adams drives this ball right back up the middle into that left center gap, and Cunningham turns on the wheels, rounding third, able to score easily, and San Diego State able to put up one in the top of the 4th.
Rolled up on, 1 is all you need. But Adams has the first 3 SDSU RBI in her career coming today. 1 now. It's San Diego State in front. San Diego State on top. Right now, the game-winning run would be scored by Shannon Cunningham. She's the first to touch the plate. And so it's a great time to talk to Susan Cunningham, who just got to watch her daughter come around and score. Susan, how much fun has this tournament been for you, getting to watch San Diego State here, off to a great start all year, now a whole lot closer to home than they were in Clearwater?
It's been so much fun watching them.
Kind of take us through Shannon's journey a little bit here. Starts it out at Arizona State, and just through kind of the nature of softball, finds herself in the portal and winds up much closer to home.
Yes. We went to a couple schools, visited them, and San Diego State checked all the boxes for her academically and softball.
What was, besides the allure of home, you talk about there the academics portion of it, the softball portion of it, but how much was it for you, as well as Gary, hey, we sure like it if our daughter is right there, is very accessible to us?
Yes, that was a big part, and also for her Oma and Opa, which means grandparents in German, for them to be able to come watch her play closer to home. That was a big part as well. That made us very happy that she decided to go to San Diego State.
Always
Susan,
easier
I
when
see
the grandparents.
I see that you ran track at Cal State Fullerton. Is that where your daughter got her speed that we just saw her show on that run from second to home?
Sure, yeah. Let's say that. Yeah. I ran cross country and track at Cal State Fullerton. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, athletic ability probably came from mom, or are we?
Dad also played. Dad played football and baseball in high school, so I think all around. And her Opa also ran cross country and track when he was in high school.
Now batting number 33.
Wow, that's so cool, and I bet it's awesome for you guys, like we've been saying, getting to see her now compete a little bit closer to home. And does she come back and visit often, or is she pretty busy?
No, she surprised me on a Sunday morning. I was making breakfast for my husband, and the door opened, and there she was, surprised. So, yeah, it's been nice that she's been able to come home on Sundays and hang out. And sometimes she has appointments on Monday, so it makes it really, really good. And it's, you know, it's an hour and 30-minute drive for her, so it's a nice drive.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Well, thank you, Susan. I appreciate it.
Susan, one more for you before we let you go. You got to explain the T-shirt to us and specifically what's on the back.
Oh, well, ever since she was collegiately playing, there we go. Yeah, get my hair out of the way. I have a good friend who has a cricket, and she's made shirts for us. The Shantastic name she got from her sweet mate her freshman year at ASU, and we just thought, what the heck, let's put it on the back.
Right now, it's a Shantastic lead for San Diego State. She's got the go-ahead run. Her mom, Susan Cunningham, hanging out with us here on Float College. Thank you, Susan.
Can I say a big
Inning
shout
wraps
out
up
to
San Diego State?
Can I say a big shout out to
Yeah.
my mom and dad, her Oma and Opa? Hi, Mom, Dad.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Shout outs to everybody. It's about the family here at the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic. Her favorite team leads by 1. Four complete. SDSU up by 1 and attacking on the very first pitch. Never a bad idea, but it goes just foul. Yellen, who's made some nice defensive plays, goes after that one top shelf and deposits it. So early aggression pays dividends.
Yeah, Corey, I love the aggression that we just saw from Yellen, swinging at that first pitch and hitting it hard, but just foul, and then goes after that pitch that was up in the zone, able to get her barrel to it, and now San Diego State has another base runner.
You're often referred to as Stacy Newman. Stacy Newman Denise, the 4th-year head coach. She'll be coaching in the AUSL like we just talked about with Kim Ng. That's a perfect bunt, and the throw is wide. Yellen gets to third. Espinoza, the Aztec single-season record holder for singles and one of the best pure hitters to come through San Diego, laid down a masterful bunt.
This bunt, absolutely textbook. You can't get much better than that. Just drops right in front of the plate. I think she would have beat it out even if the throw would have been on line. And Yellen now standing at third.
Pop throw down. And the safe at third. The great jump at first by Espinoza. So 2 in prime position for Jazz
That's
Williams.
great heads up.
No doubt. In addition to those really tremendous batting average numbers for Bella Espinoza, she's also top 5 all-time at San Diego State in stolen base percentage. So, understandable.
Yeah,
she now stands at second.
Right, that doesn't surprise me. She definitely got a great jump on that. You can tell she's got the speed. Like I said, I think she would have beat that throw out to first anyway, even if it would have been online.
Williams sends it sky high. Yellen's ready to come home. The throw to the plate is cut. Yellen scores a sac fly for Jazz Williams.
And this is just beautiful situational hitting. Sac fly to center field allows Yellen to score from third. It looks like maybe Espinoza slid into the bag a little weird. I think she's okay, but had to walk it off there for a second.
Callie Decker watching ball 1. Decker drives it and scores another. Espinoza cashes in, and Callie Decker, one of the royalty of SDSU RBI, adds another one on top.
Callie Decker, one of the best two-way players in the Mountain West. We've seen her hit for power and for average. She's got great barrel control, really great at placing the ball where she needs it in whatever situation.
Stacey Newman's got the lineup card out. NCAA tournament all 3 years under her guidance for the Aztecs. She was the Mountain West Coach of the Year right off the rip. The lineup card is out, not for SDSU, but adjusting it for their opponent. Chloe Borges is going to warm up. Hawaii going to one of their mainstays on the other side. Chloe Borges has played a ton for the Rainbow Wahine, a familiar name for Hawaii fans, but the majority of her work has been at the plate. She has pitched a bit and will do so here, her second appearance. We saw her for 4 1/3 of shutout softball against Utah Tech a week ago. Pop throw down to second, sails to the outfield. Holcomb, the runner who came in, now stands at third. How's that for coming in fresh? You literally just get called into the game as the pinch runner during the pitching change. And the youngster, Julie Holcomb, remains perfect on the base paths and gets an extra 60 for her effort.
Julie Holcomb, known for her speed and really great base running. I actually played with her older sister, Jenna Holcomb, who also finished her career at San Diego State, but we played together at Tennessee. So very familiar with the Holcombs.
I knew Jay Holcomb rang the bell for some reason.
Yeah.
A question of the count, I believe. So conversation continues. And in a game like this, Kaylin, where little bits make all the difference. One ball, one strike call either way can be huge.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, it may seem like something small, but little things like that can make all the difference in the world in a game, especially a close game like this one. And Hawaii needing a win here.
Cunningham drops it just foul. You got to look during that conversation at Bob Coolin in his final year with the Rainbow Wahine, over 3 decades at the helm as the head coach of this Hawaii program. One of the winningest coaches to ever do it in this sport. Has been a mainstay in developing softball in Honolulu.
That's very inspirational. So many coaches in this tournament alone who have played incredible roles in this sport, in the history of softball, and growing it to where it is today. And he is definitely one of them. What he's been able to do at Hawaii has been nothing short of amazing. And again, several other coaches in this tournament who have done the same, who've been a part of this sport forever.
Throw to the plate on the follow-up, not in time. Heads up base running. And the Aztecs get one from Julie Holcomb.
And Julie Holcomb comes in and does a job, steals a base, and then scores a run for her team coming off of the bench. And that's all you can ask from your players. She reads this incredibly well, gets that hook slide going, gets that hand in over the plate, adds another run for San Diego.
Bringing in a run on a strikeout. Not normally how you see it.
No.
But Shannon Cunningham has been involved in a couple of the scoring plays today, finding ways to stick with it. Grace Uribe watching it skip away. One through and missed. I heard Stacey Newman tell a great story with Jenna Becerra and Amanda Lorenz, where she was talking about Grace Uribe, and after one of their wins, Grace breaks out into tears, and she tells the team, I keep hearing from my friends and family that they're now seeing the joy on my face now that I'm playing with you all, now that I'm playing at San Diego State. Finding that love of the game again, a really cool part of the transfer portal and one of the core goals for that coach right there in Stacey Newman Denise.
100%. And having several friends who have played for Stacey, I know that she is a coach that truly does care about her players outside of just the game of softball. She's invested in them, has a relationship with them, and that is truly where you find that joy again in the sport, when your coach is 100% invested in you, whether you go 0 for 5 or you hit 12 home runs, it doesn't matter. They know that their coach is going to be invested in them no matter what. Completely changes the game.
And Uribe continues to harness that joy to get on base. She works the 2-out walk. And we see Lala Macario. Other end of that spectrum for the pitcher, Chloe Borges. Checking in at 5'2". Initially, coaches said she's too small to play Division I softball. And then she keeps playing, keeps developing, keeps getting better at her craft. And by the time she was done, her travel coach said, yeah, she'll throw 15 games a day if you let her. Size doesn't matter one bit. She's got that drive, she's got the skill set. And sure enough, for anyone who said she's too small for D1, she's playing D1 at a great program like Hawaii.
100%, and I think that is just so incredibly wrong when you hear people say that anyone is too small, not big enough, whatever it may be. There are so many pitchers out there, she being one of them, who are making it happen. And I think that size, while it does help, it really doesn't matter. What matters is the heart and the work that you put into it. And I mean, if a coach is telling you that a player is going to throw 15 games a day if you let them, that just shows nothing but heart and nothing but grit, and that's not something that you can teach.
Right now, she's trying to grind through it, but San Diego State is making it difficult. Duker just came into the game to run. She's at second. Macario, the base knock, she's at first.
And Chloe, she's trying to keep the ball low in the zone. You can see her going in repeatedly with that drop ball to try to keep the ball out of the air. San Diego State has hit quite a few line drives at this point, so trying to induce ground balls.
Walk and the base knock, both coming with a couple of downs. So Sav Adams looks for the clutch hit to potentially blow it wide open for the Aztecs. Sav came into that first game against St. Mary's as a pinch hitter. 1 hit, 2 RBI. A good hit here does the exact same thing.
Yeah, San Diego State, they have the opportunity here to blow this wide open.
Adams already with an RBI in this game as well. And count leverage to boot. Off speed, working the walk. The run continues for the Aztecs. And she of the back-to-back web gems. A chance with the bases loaded. Here's Quinn Waike.
You see San Diego State being extremely disciplined here at the plate, not going after that low drop ball. They're going to make her bring that pitch in the zone.
And Waike works ahead as well. Conversation in the circle, understanding the importance of the moment. We mentioned Quinn Waike from Hilo. I almost had a really dumb moment before the game when I was halfway to Googling what is the drive time from Honolulu to Hilo. Like, see, how far would it be, you know? She was born, now playing against Hawaii. How far is the drive to the opponent? And I got about halfway to typing it before I realized that is not a drive you can make unless your car can turn into a boat.
Yes, Hawaii is made up of islands.
That's correct. And unfortunately,
So-
this took me about 30 seconds too long to process that they are not on the same island.
Yes, you know what? It's okay. I mean, honestly, it's cool.
He drops it just foul.
I guess maybe she would take a boat, maybe like a ferry or something. I don't know, because it is an ocean, right? Like to go from one island to the next.
You could also take a flight.
Could fly, yeah, could do that.
Oahu to the island of Hawaii, not to be confused with the state. And against the team of her home state, it is Quinn Waikiki blowing it open for the Aztecs.
Up next, number 24, Angie Yellen.
And Quinn Waikiki, 0 for 2 until this at bat, rips this pitch right back up the middle. That hard line drive, able to score her teammates 2 runs coming in for San Diego State off that hit.
Angie Yellen, with Waikiki representing the potential game-shortening run. Squirts away from Martinez, 2 in prime position.
And the pressure here is pretty intense on not so much San Diego State. I mean, there is a little bit of pressure, I guess, to try and, score 2 more runs here, but more so for Hawaii. They have 2 outs. Literally just need to get back into the dugout here, try to prevent any more runs from scoring.
And that potentially even more insurance. It bears reminding that the bulk of these last few base runners have all come with 2 outs. The definition of clutch right now for the Aztecs. And the lineup will flip for the dangerous Bella Espinoza, who now goes from table setter to run producer.
Yeah, and this is not where you want to be if you're Hawaii. Bases juiced with the top of the lineup coming back around.
Catching the outside part. Chloe needed that one. Gorgeous up top.
Great hustle by Martinez behind the plate, not letting that ball get past her.
A catcher they trust big time at Hawaii. They let her call the games. You can see her relaying the signs there. Major League Baseball style. She's got complete control. She's been doing it for a while too, the senior. It's the Rainbow Wahine's first ever back-to-back Player of the Week. She has made her mark on this Hawaii program.
And I really love that. I love when, pitchers and catchers can call their own games. Not something that I really ever wanted to do. I had full trust in my coaches. But I do think it's really cool when they have that special relationship where they know exactly what they're wanting from each other.
High chop. Espinoza does it again. One of the best pure hitters in the history of Aztec softball.
Espinosa just chops this one right over the head of the pitcher, and it gets to the grass. 2 runs able to score. And I mean, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. That's what's so crazy is we've seen the hard hits, we've seen the line drives. That's just a hard chopper up the middle, still gets the job done.
A return appearance here for Millie Fidge. So she will come back into the circle for Hawaii in search of that final out. The lineup card tinkered with, the re-entry. And Millie Fidge has to stretch it out. No warm-up pitches to be had when you're not a new pitcher to the game. And we have already seen Fidge. Strike one in. Yacht.
Yeah, great job by Fidge. I mean, when you start a game and then you come out of the game and then you have to go back in the game, that is such a hard thing to do mentally.
And she comes in and does the job. Murakami makes the grab, but not before San Diego State puts up 7 runs in the frame. And now the Rainbow Wahine need 1, or this tournament will wrap up the San Diego State win. The objective for Hawaii, simple to say, score 1 run. But it is easier said than done against Didi Hernandez. A huge shout out to our camera crew. This is a lot of games in not a lot of time. KJ making it happen all the way in the outfield. Putting on a little move to grab it. Ori, Mark, Blake, and KJ. Our 4 here at Wrigley, and this is just one of the 5 fields. A massive, massive salute to our entire crew over the course of this tournament. This is a unique tournament in so many ways, and one of those ways are the challenges it is to produce. But we love it because it's awesome, and so is the softball. But a shout out to our crew for making it happen.
Yeah, the production crew for this tournament has been nothing short of incredible. Such hardworking individuals, staying up super late at night, getting up super early in the morning, working their butts off to make things happen. Thank you so much to the amazing production crew.
Get some oohs and ahs from the folks coming up from San Diego. That's ripped in and good for strike one. And out one. Didi Hernandez continuing to roll.
Didi Hernandez has pitched phenomenally so far in this game. Absolutely great in the circle. She actually pitched her first complete game shutout against UC Santa Barbara. That was the first of her career, so this has been a really good tournament for Didi Hernandez.
Came in and got the save right before this game started, and both these teams with some long game ones on this final day had to come in, warm up as fast as possible, and get going. And so with almost no turnaround time, Didi Hernandez is pitching a gem. And she floats that in.
And I really love how she is just so vocal in the circle. You can see as she turns around, she's communicating with her infield. She's letting them know, hey, I'm good. I've got your back. You've got my back. That is so important.
And it drops. Didi Hernandez, a masterful performance. Murakami does have the first hit of the day for the Rainbow Wahine.
My pitcher heart hurts for her. She was so close to that no-hitter. I was really pulling for her. Unfortunately, sometimes that's just how the game goes. Hawaii not ready to go down without a fight.
There have been now 3 separate instances over the course of as many days here at Wrigley Field where broadcaster jinx decision-making has come into play. And now it's back-to-back hits. So erasing all doubt, the Rainbow Wahine putting that in the back of their minds. Kochi on the board. And all of a sudden, Hawaii's got a real chance to extend this game.
And this pitch, just a little too plated. And both of the spots for these hits, I mean, those are tough spots defensively to get to. Now you've got a first and third situation going on here. Hawaii, like I said, not ready to go down without a fight.
This is a proud program that's won a lot of games. In fact, they lead this series all time. 29-12, Rainbow Wahine on top of the Aztecs. This is their first meeting since 2006. Just goes to show you how good this Rainbow Wahine program has been. Dips down low. Millie Fidge, once again the pitcher, but now locking in at the plate. That's a good breaking ball from Hernandez.
Yeah, really great pitch from Hernandez. Took a moment in the circle with her defense to talk it out. Sometimes that's what you got to do just to reconvene, figure out what the plan is moving forward.
Woohoo! Back to back.
I love that. That's one of my favorite things ever, is when a pitcher goes back to back with an off speed.
The changeup, playing off the changeup. Never expect the same thing twice at the plate. Wow, that one falls off the table too. Runner at first, so no throwdown required. Chalk it up as a strikeout and a big one for Didi Hernandez.
That is huge for Hernandez. Big time momentum coming off of 2 game-changing hits. Able to get the strikeout. Now 2 outs for San Diego State. They need 1 more to close it.
Now if you're Hernandez, you can block out the noise with the runners at the corner and focus on the action at the plate. And that action will be Nevaeh Tellez. Bronco playing football at BYU. Another team we've seen play well in this tournament. And on to be a Dallas Cowboy. Hawaii's own, playing in the state title game just a couple years ago. She sends it up the middle. The diving stop by Waikiki, who touches the bag for the 2nd straight game. A phenomenal defensive play by Waikiki in the final inning. How about this freshman?
Holy cow. If you could see me right now, I am just blown away by the hustle and the effort from this freshman. I mean, give her player of the game. Fantastic job. Fantastic job. I absolutely love it, from what we saw her do at the plate to now defensively, and is just a freshman. It's incredible seeing her be able to compete at that level. Look at her giving hugs to probably some girls that she has played against, played with her whole life in Hawaii. I mean, just hats off to her.
Quinn Waikiki did something special today, locked in on this final day and final couple games of the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic. She basically saved the game along with Didi in the first. She preserves at the time what could have been a no-hitter, and then she goes right back to it. And once again, this game would still be going if that ball gets to center field, and we'd be right on pace to play our regularly scheduled 7. And Waikiki somehow not only gets to the ball, but has the presence of mind to not try and get up to throw it. She doesn't need to. She just has to touch second. She did exactly that. That was anything but a freshman-looking play. And the San Diego State fans get treated to a show. The Aztecs continue what is a phenomenal start to 2025. And this group that is already top 25, rising in the rankings by the moment. And whether it's that senior leadership or some of the youth, this Aztec team has been just so much fun to watch. They've got a flair for the dramatic. A couple of big walk-off wins in Clearwater, and here, 2 late defensive plays to end both games. Quinn Waikiki, the one who made it happen, and she joins us now. Quinn, what got into you today? Some phenomenal defensive plays, late stages of both games. You made another web gem early. What's been going through your mind all day?
You know, it's just like about finishing hard and starting hard from beginning to end. And that's what we've been taught by these coaches. It's like always fight from beginning to end. And the game is just about having fun. You know, I had fun, and that's what it's all about.
Quinn,
Kaylin, go
were
ahead.
you aware in that last inning, that last play, that all you needed to do was just tag the base? Like, was that what you were thinking of doing, or was that just kind of what it led you to do in the moment?
That's what I was thinking. Since, you know, it's all about strategic play. There's a run on first. You know, if I were to dive and get it, tag second, end game.
Yeah,
Quinn,
totally cool.
how cool was it for you going against this Hawaii team? And a 2-part question for you. Growing up, were you more of a Hawaii Hilo fan or Hawaii Manoa fan?
Hawaii Hilo. Born and raised Hilo. I have to
feeling.
go with the Hilo.
Still, had to be pretty cool to be going against the Rainbow Wahine today.
Yes. Yeah, I love them. There was all the childhood friends on that team, and it was just great playing in front of Hawaii fans, and it was just, yeah. It's good to see them out here, though, and competing at this level.
Quinn, what'd you think of the tournament here, first time around as a freshman at SDSU?
It was great. I had so much fun. It was good to end, well, one loss, but it was good to end with a great win. Yeah.
A great couple of wins here to close it out. Quinn Waiki doing a phenomenal job defensively and closing the door. Quinn, thank you for joining us. San Diego State continues their phenomenal 2025, and their fans get to head back off another thrilling win. A massive, monumental shout out goes to our entire crew for making this happen. 5 fields wide, as many as 5 games a day on those fields. And we brought you every single pitch of every single game right here on Flow College. That does not happen without some massive dedication, and the softball has been unbelievably high level. Some of the best teams making great plays all throughout. We've seen first, we've seen 300-foot home runs, 77-mile-an-hour pitches, no-hitters, freshmen getting celebrated, and everything in between that makes the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic truly, truly special. We certainly hope you'll join us for it next year. Everything keeps on going, and as softball continues to grow, so does this tournament. For Seamus in the truck, Don roaming around, Kaylin, Nicole, Sydney, our entire crew, I'm Corey. In the books, the 2025 Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic, as good as ever and truly special. A good night from Cathedral City.